the value of our company is over $1 billion. So it's a pretty incredible from nothing to something type of story. Well, it all kind of started back in around 2006 when my high school that I was working for said that they would pay for my graduate studies if I wanted to go get it. And I was a high school teacher and I wasn't making very much money, and I was about to get a divorce, and I was worried about just being able to make it and not live in my car, so I had 2 sons to raise. I was terrified. I didn't know where I was going to get any money, and I knew I needed to come up with money fast. So I took advantage of this enrichment program that the school came up with. And during those 3 years while I was getting that degree, I was still working for a radio station and also working as a teacher, but I had to come up with a master's degree thesis project. And one day, while I was sitting out by the pool grading papers, I had a cocktail with me, like all good teachers do. And I had a little votive candle, a little Aurifer's crystal candle. It had a votive in it. So I had my cocktail and that little candle grading papers, and I had my cocktail in a glass container out by the pool. And I thought, I really shouldn't have a glass container out here by the pool. I should have a plastic container. It's a little safer. That's where the idea of the BuzzBallz came about, because I wanted to make something really cute that looked like that round party ball and would be like something I would make from home, fresh, and has enough kick in it to give you a little buzz. But it was made with natural ingredients and it tasted good. Didn't make you feel fat. You wouldn't have to drink like a big glug of beer or something like that to get a little buzz going. So anyway, I came up with the idea of the BuzzBallz, and I used that as my master's degree thesis project. The project finished in 2009, and my first sale with the company was in 2010. I didn't know how to do anything in terms of manufacturing because I'd never manufactured anything in my life. I took my prototype to a company called Bartushnitsius Foods. It's a little food manufacturing company here locally. And I walked through their warehouse, saw how their production facilities worked, saw a pallet rack for the first time, a pallet jack for the first time. I saw filler lines for the first time. So I learned a lot just from observing, and then I Googled everything. Another thing that I was really good at from being a teacher is researching. So I spent a lot of time online looking at Alibaba and places like that. Like, where would I find a manufacturer to make me a custom plastic container if I wanted to? I had gone around to all the places in the Dallas area and in the United States and asked them if they would help me, and they basically said no. If you're not Heinz ketchup, or if you're not somebody that's going to want 1 million parts, we're not going to blink at you. We're not even going to look at you. So I didn't have the cash flow to support a big operation. So I had to go to China to get this stuff made. Got it made, got my prototypes made, sold it to the concept to Blair Casey at Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits, and then we launched it in the Dallas market. Well, there's actually really no friends when it comes to starting a new business. That's one of the things you learn. I applied for every single bank in the Dallas area, and everybody turned me down. But then about 6 months after my applying for these loans, finally this little tiny company called Opportunity Bank in Richardson called me and said, "Hey, did anybody ever get back to you about this loan that you were looking at?" And I said, "No." I said, "Why, are you interested?" And they said, "Yeah, actually we are." So on a December day, it was pouring rain. These 2 bankers come out to my warehouse. So they gave me $178,500. And that plus a life insurance on my life for the exact same amount, in case I got hit by a truck, was enough to kickstart the business. And keep in mind, I had no collateral other than my car, which was like a 2006 Saab, I had cows for collateral from my mom's ranch. I had really virtually nothing as collateral. So anyway, I was living off a shoestring and maxed out my credit cards, didn't have a way to get by. My parents came in with a $50,000 donation to me. They basically took my inheritance from a ranch that they owned, my piece of it, and gave me the money for that. So that helped pay for my credit card bills. And ever since then, I've been really debt averse and haven't really taken out many loans or anything like that. To date, our company's self-funded, and we live off the cash that we make. And what's cool about our company is we're the only woman-owned distillery, winery, brewery combination in the entire United States. We can make any kind of alcoholic beverage that's legal to make in the United States. And we can sell it in any venue in the United States. So sometimes if you have a spirit-based cocktail, you'll only be able to sell that in liquor stores in certain states. But we can sell it in any state with our wine base or our malt base cocktails as well. So we can pick and choose what retailers get which products. So it's kind of a neat thing to have up our sleeve. Out of all of our flavors, the most popular BuzzBallz flavor is the chalk teas, and we also have the tequila Rita. The margarita flavors are really good, and the chalk teas, it tastes a lot actually like a Bailey's Irish Cream. But we have a lot of new innovation as well, like this one, the chili mango. It's pretty cool. It's got a little bit of heat on it, tastes like mango. We've got the espresso martini, which is kind of cool. It's popular, especially in the United Kingdom. And then for holidays, we've got an eggnog. And so we do some in and out flavors that come and go. Our biggest market is California. And California is able to sell all spirit-based cocktails almost in every single retail store. So by far, they're the world's leading liquor market. So it makes sense that they're our biggest liquor market as well. Second biggest is probably Texas in terms of states, but we sell in 21 countries. So we're growing. We're expanding our international base. It's something that takes time to build because you've got so many different cultures that you have to deal with, and there's a lot of logistics involved. We right now have 7 full production lines, and each one does a different thing. So some of them will fill bottles and put a cap on them. Some of them will fill bottles and put a cork in them, like a wine bottle type of thing, or a vodka bottle like we have back here. Something with a tea cork in it, a spirits bottle. We also have the canning lines, which will create the BuzzBallz and put the lids on. And we have across the street, we have our preform making factory. We have our silk screening factory. We have our finished goods shipping and logistics factory. So we have a lot of different facets to this organization, and everything just kind of works tandemly. I am very detailed. So I get down into the bones of things. For example, every info email that comes into our account, I read. So like if a customer is angry, sometimes I'll respond, and we turn them around just because they go, oh my gosh, thanks for writing. You're the CEO of the company. Number one, didn't think anybody would write me back. Number two, thank you. This is great. So a lot of times there's just a lot of reason for our success is not only my detail, but my people's detail as well. So to me, it's very important to put out a quality product. Sometimes I'll go into the lab, we'll check the specs on what's going on, and we will go into the R&D department, and I will taste test everything that goes out the door. So anytime we have a new product of any kind, all of our new innovation, we're extremely innovative. But just the cool things that we're making here, I get to test every single thing. So it's pretty fun to be able to be a part of that creative process. I love working with my family. I love it more than anything. It's like the best of both worlds. I can be a mom and I can run the corporation with people that I know and trust, and they have my best interests at heart. I used my son as well, Alex, my oldest son, And we would sit at the pool and we would concoct cocktails together. We would talk about the idea of what would make something cool. He helped me with some of these things, like what would appeal to a 25-year-old, what would appeal to a 30-year-old, those kinds of types of flavors. He helped me a lot with that. My youngest son helped me with sweeping floors and bringing in friends to help pack boxes and things like that. My husband came in too. We were about to get a divorce and we never actually got that divorce. So my husband's the CFO of our company. When you're married, it's difficult for everybody. There's ups and downs for everybody. But one of the biggest stressors is money. And I wasn't making a lot of money. But now, today, we have grown. It's been since 2010, since our first sale. And here we are 12 years in. We've got 400 and something employees, 500,000 square feet of manufacturing space. We sell 5 million cases of these BuzzBallz, which is 120 million BuzzBallz out there every year. And the value of our company is over $1 billion. It's really been a turnaround story for the marriage as well. We're very family focused. We even take time off at the holidays around December 22nd to January 3rd every year. Everybody gets that time off fully paid. We have a big party, give out bonuses. Everybody shuts down. Because when I was a teacher, that was the most important thing for me. Was to be a teacher, I had time off to be with my family. And when you go into corporate America, you don't get that time off. You get your 2 weeks, your 3 weeks, whatever time it is. It's never enough. So what I said was, if I start my own company someday, I'm going to make it family-focused culture, and I'm going to make it to where people want to come to work. And I think that with having a great management team and everybody on the same cultural wave, it makes a difference to my stress level. I don't have the kind of stress that I can't cope with. My best advice, after all the things I've done through my life, is to find something you love. Your life is not over. Find something you absolutely love to do and dive into it. And figure out what you can do to contribute to society and the world to make it a better place. Because that will make you feel important and empowered, and you'll feel like you're making a difference. Your life is over if you just sit around and do nothing. But if you have a purpose and you have a drive and you're inspired to make a difference, that's where the change happens. You have one life to live, and you have to ensure that whatever you do is meaningful and impactful. So when you look back on that life, you go, I made a difference. I did some good things. Because I guarantee you, when you're on your deathbed, you're not thinking about certain things. You're thinking about who you cared for, who you loved, and what kind of important change you developed in the world and to yourself.